Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo come back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about some Atlanta Falcon news from the first day of mandatory minicamp. So guys, before we get into the video, if you have not already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, a lot of news gonna come from Tori McElhaney from the AtlantaFalcon.com. She actually gave some really good content of what was going on actually at minicamp today. Um, so let's get into the video. Of course, we did saw the interview from Coach Smith today earlier. He talked about Cordell Patterson right off the bat. How he's not gonna actually let him participate in minicamp. These 2 days because he'd want to make sure he's going to be 100% ready to go. He thought it was not worth actually ramping him up for 2 days. He just want him to be ready for mini camp. I mean, for training camp, we do know that Cordell Patterson looked like he was kind of wearing down towards the end of the season last year, and that's probably because that's the most usage he had probably his whole career in the season. So you could see. So Arthur Smith want to make sure that when they get to training camp, CP is 100% ready to go. He's a veteran. I think we all figured that CP is going to be ready to go. So no worries there. He also mentioned a couple of more guys: Deion Jones, Keith Smith, Vincent Taylor is still rehabbing their offseason procedures that they had. He also mentioned some guys going to be limited: Cam Batson, Frank Darby, Jones Fitzpatrick, Auden Tate, Austin Trammell, Eric Harris, Taquan Graham, Isaiah Oliver, and Tease Tabor. I want to say to some of these guys, especially the receivers, how deep that room is. They need to make sure they don't be getting injured because if you're not available to actually be able to prove and compete, it's going to be easy for the coaches to make decisions on some of these guys. So especially those receivers that's been out. I know Austin Trammell been out a while. And Tease Tabor is another guy. The defensive backfield is kind of packed as well. So those guys need to make sure that they're able to compete and show what they actually can do on this field because those rooms are both deep. Tori also mentioned Felipe Franks still making plays in practice. It's gonna be interesting to see what he has to do to get past on. But of course, he's an athletic kid. We saw glimpses of that last year in the preseason when he was actually playing quarterback. Still lining up with the tight ends. It's gonna be interesting to see if Arthur Smith actually gonna keep three quarterbacks or do Felipe Franks got to make his bones in special teams and in this hybrid role as a tight end. Um, we know Arthur Smith does like to keep 12 personnel, but that tight end room is deep. We just drafted John Fitzpatrick, Anthony Frisk is there, of course, Kyle Pitts, Parker Hesse is there. So it depends on it, or how many players Arthur Smith want to keep at that tight end position. No, he does love to run 12 personnel. She also mentioned that Arthur Smith was actually working out with the pass rushers today, which is a good thing to see the head coach going all over the field, showing these players what he want to do. In particular, he was working out with the rookies, Armor Katie and D'Angelo Malone, just to making sure they know what it takes, what they're gonna need to do to make sure they're gonna be productive this year. So, and also talking about pass rush, it was a great article out on ESPN. Ted Monachino talking about he was using some of the veteran players on other teams' pass rushers, um, doing some cut ups of films, putting it under on each young rusher's tablets, and showing what they can do to improve their pass rush. We know we only had 18 sacks last year, which was the worst in the league. We definitely got to get better in that. Only pass rusher that's left from last season is Okendeji. So we pretty much revamped that room as well, just like we did the receiver room. Um, but it was interesting. He showed up some cut ups for Okendeji. He showed him cut ups of Cameron Jordan because of the body build for Evan Cady. he showed TJ Watt. So that's good. He's showing these guys. Those guys had multiple double-digit sacks last year for both of those teams. So we definitely, it's good that he's trying to get these young pass rushers to know what it's going to take to be successful, in this league and to be able to get after the quarterback. Um, he mentioned that in that article how he wanted to ensure that the pass rushers know how the secondary and the pass rush work in unison to actually put pressure on the quarterback, make the quarterback rush his throws, create turnovers in the backfields, vice versa, things like that. Um, do have a young pass rush room, which is awesome. If these guys can actually hit, but you can see the urgency that Ted Monticino is putting these young pass rushers. The idea, and we know we definitely need to be better in the pass rush this year. She also mentioned that Drew Dahlman, which is this is becoming the theme, is lining up with the first team. Um, Makes you wonder when we get to training camp, is he's going to have that first nod at center, vice Matt Hennessy. We do know that Arthur Smith talked about he loves mix and matching players and seeing what they can actually do. He mentioned that in his interview. That's how he found about what Cordell Patterson do, because he mismatched players, lineups. Um, Same thing started what he doing with Felipe Franks as well. Put him in different positions. What he did Avery Williams, put him at running back. Things like that. This is this time of the season where you can actually see what these players can do. Give them opportunity to make the team in any way they can. If they can contribute in other ways, besides the way they got drafted, it'd be awesome to put those guys to be able to do that. So the last thing I want to talk about, the Falcons once again is hosting tryouts, and we talked about this um, a lot. They keep mentioning that this roster is going to keep having turnover. We actually got a comment from Terry Fontenot said that he knows for a fact that 53-man roster is currently not at practice. So which means that they still thinking that they're going to actually bring in some more bodies to compete. And when it's all said and done, they want to have the best 53-man roster they can have and the best 16 for the practice squad. So, but some of the guys they did host today for tryouts, and we'll go in more detail if they actually sign any of these guys. But defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, had 17 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. He was a rotation player. Um, Big guy. He definitely could have an opportunity to be on this team. We still need to see can we find some more guys in the trenches to compete. Um, Linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Dakota Allen, actually played 500 snaps with the Jaguars last year. He played on special teams. So um, just another depth to the linebacker room. Offensive lineman Adam Coon, actually interested by him. He played at Michigan, never played a snap. But the background on him, he's a Greco-Roman wrestler. That means he good with the hands. He know how to move people. Um, so we'll have to see what he'll be able to do. That's good. They give everybody a chance, just like they gave the Jared Barnhart, rugby player. This is the time you give these guys a chance to see what they'll be able to do. Um, Defensive tackle Jalen Dalton. He actually played college ball at UNC. He had 50 tackles, 12 and a half tackles for a loss. And one thing about him, he had a athletic score of 9.10, which is out of 10, which means he's very athletic. Um, Story him, he played with the Saints, and in 2019, um, only issue he got a lot of injury, so he was not able to make the team because he got put on the IR. But once again, Terry Fontenot finding some diamonds in the rough. Somebody defensive tackle with that kind of athletic ability might have some potential. So we'll just to see if they decide to sign him. Wide receiver, um, Ikeme Emery, another wide receiver. Hey, I don't know why we bringing another wide receiver in. That'll bring the total to 14 if we would sign him. And then last but not least, center Jonathan Harrison, who's actually had 42 starts in the league. So bringing another center, played with the Giants, the Bills. Um, as a rookie, he actually had 10 starts with the Colts. So a rookie center, a veteran center coming in to compete with Hennessy and Drew Dahlman would be interesting. Still no guards. So I guess we're going to see if they're actually going to actually eventually bring in some more competition with Jalen Mayfield and the rookie Justin Schaefer. But we'll have to see about that. So, guys, let me know what you think about the news today. The Falcons starting off minicamp with a lot of moving parts. Almost time to after the next 2 days, we're going to have a little downtime with the Falcons. Everybody going to go off. Hopefully, they continue to get in shape, get ready for training camp. But um, going to take a break, and this really is the sad part of the NFL season because we have to sit here and wait to these guys to get back and get ready for training camp. But it's a good break for them before they go into this 17 game stretch, especially the Falcons, because they don't get a bye week till like what, week 14, week 13, something like that. So they got a long way to go. So those guys definitely need to go back and relax and get ready for this long season. So guys, that's all I have about today's mini camp. Let me know what you think about some of the news that we heard. Felipe Frank, the pass rushers, Drew Dahlman getting most of the reps at center, and some of these guys they bring it in for tryouts. And that's all I have. This is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.